try to go. I hadn't realized the other clip was about to end. So I kept on rambling on. But I decided to go back just a little bit to the last clip where the last part ended. I started with that clip. It was basically describing kind of the basic idea of what I did with my Warlock. With the Hand of Gold, how I set up my offense and defense. I normally start from a defensive formation and quickly throw out my offensive pieces. And based on how the battle's going, I'll bring out additional pieces. I like using Doom. Doom is now a talent, which if you're doing demonology, Doom is a very useful skill. In the arsenal of the demonologist, Doom is really a taunt. It's its basic function. It's kind of a special case font because it combines not only your taunt, but it also combines what would normally be for DPS your most games that you play. There's a certain, once an enemy drops below 30% health, you usually have an attack which is under 30% health, and it gives you a boost for damage. Under demonology, there is no actual power that does that, but Doom can fulfill that function for you, because it normally in the time that it takes for you to destroy things, you'll usually have them about 30%, less than 30% health when the final Doom takes place. And that's your actual finishing power. Although, I don't normally use it that way. If it so happily kills the guy, then so be it. But normally your imps and Bellhounds are attacking at such a rate that that's just extra damage. Now, they added Demon Bolt to our arsenal, but I normally don't use Demon Bolt until it lights up. And what I'll do normally is I'll cast Shadow Bolt just to build up my shards. Then I'll throw out Hand of Gul'dan, which normally takes anywhere up to 3 shards now. It used to be 4. And they lowered it to 3. And a lot of times the Demon Bolt will light up at that point. And then, although it's really a random event, but and I'll usually hit that to give me to quickly
like my Loa always says,
charge my shards back up, because you get 2 at a time. During the pre-patch events, I experimented around with that. When I've come to find out I like the Shadow Bolt, mainly to set my main timing, and then that sets the cadence for my attacks, and then I cast the other as it's appropriate for the battle. As I'm getting gear, I don't have Pawn. It hasn't updated for me yet, so I have to do it the old-fashioned way, actually read the stats. So since I'm a demonologist, I'm going for anything that boosts haste and mastery. Haste allows you to cast spells quickly, lowers the time, and then mastery improves all your pets.
May the winds of war be ever.
And if you're going to be relying on your pets to win the battle for you,
I serve Baku,
that's the thing you need to strengthen the most.
Of the Loa.
Secondary
like
to that,
Lotti's method is too grounded for my taste. I prefer a pterodactyl eye view.
I prefer critical hit after that, and then last is versatility.
It is like my Loa always says, if you cannot see the source of corruption, go higher. We shall ride Atta the Winglord on this journey. Hop on and keep your eyes open. I will
And
call out the best
critical
spots,
hit,
and you
since
can
your
have the
primarily
honor of
only real
tossing down a
offensive thing
sentry
you're
totem.
using is Shadow Bolt. You can get as much critical damage out of Shadow Bolt as possible, I think the better. But you're really using Shadow Bolt as sort of extra damage in Demonology. Although it's your primary attack, it's really you're just using that to set the pace of the battle and be able to activate your demons. At least that's how I view it. So here we go, we gotta go and drop these things on these guys. First I wasn't getting the hang of it, but then I started understanding these little gold marks on the ground is where I need to be dropping stuff on. Really getting to see Zandalari now, the jungle part of it. Kind of reminds me of Endor from Return of the Jedi.
A few years back, this whole land shook during the cataclysm. Our northern gates fell, and swarms of blood troll savages poured through. That was when we got our first taste of real blood magic. Not that petty nonsense practiced by the lesser tribe. Our defenses grow weaker. Princess Talanji, not a week goes by that we do not see some Zandalari turning to blood magics learned from those heretics in Nazmir. Something feels different. I sense a great... I will leave you with Lottie. Let her know the cause of all this trouble may lie within Zanchul itself.
I serve Gonk, master of shapes.
So again, I go with the one that provides haste and mastery. I normally go for that. But I do read the other stats. This one was going to give me versatility, which I didn't have. Which it's only a soft stat I don't have. So. Unlike other people, I like having an organized bag system here. I don't like having my bags cluttered. Now, since I was recording this and I was gonna put it up for other people to see, I believe I went ahead and grabbed both these quests while I was standing here with this guy. Normally I only do that with the guy I'm initially talking to. If there are multiple quest givers here, I generally don't do that. I actually read the quest.
Walk on the wild side.
And for the viewers at home, I decided to run a little. call it close-in air support. This was a relatively simple quest. Just go out there and smack a couple of dinosaurs around, scare off a couple dudes. As I was loading up the clips for these half-hour episodes, I realized this being the first night after the launch, I must have recorded for more than an hour because I have way more clips than 2 hours. So, it isn't really till I get into Friday night that it's pretty much standardized that I would keep it down to about an hour. When you start, those of you that are thinking of producing videos and aren't familiar with it, when you use Adobe Premiere, an hour clip can take about 4 hours to process. Even the one clip I made for the other day, I had to break it down to 2.5 hour, because to record the entire 3 hour thing, it was like a 16-hour process. So I broke it into half, and it took 4 hours, which is about an hour and a half of each video. And then it took 4 hours to process each of those clips, and then another 2.5 hours to upload each clip to YouTube. So, and since I worked today and had a lot of time off, I decided not to play. I decided to go ahead and get all my clips caught up and scheduled out on YouTube. YouTube has a scheduling tool, so when you upload everything, you can like release your videos at a certain time, which I elected to start releasing them on Monday. And then so I already have Monday loaded up and Tuesday loaded up. I believe I have something loaded up for Sunday. And then these are Tuesday clips that I'm working on. And then that way I'm ahead. So if I get all this work a little diligently tonight, I can get the clips all the way loaded up to at least Thursday or Friday. And it gives me enough room to work. I have a lot of time off now that I work at Busch Gardens in Tampa, Florida. That's where I'm home based out of. And we're off of summer nights now, so my weeks are returning back to normal, where I can stream on a regular basis and produce videos.
Greetings, Bakura Ai.
I noticed these trolls like to roll their rows. Rho is the Greek letter. It's where the Latin letter R comes from. Although it looks like a P. It's pronounced the roll. The roll. You roll your rolls. Roll. Since I'm a Floridian, we have a lazy tongue. We speak slower in Florida. Southern dialect. Although I don't hear my southern dialect because I'm tuned to my own voice. This turned out to be a pretty cool set of quests. Basically went through this temple and
wisely.
I think this one we had to deal with all these little demon dudes in here. That's what we do best. Smack demons around. That's what the Horde does. We're basically glorified Ghostbusters. I believe I actually make 111 this night. I thought I did it on Wednesday. This recording is actually on the 15th of August, although I dated it from 14th. The premiere came out on a Monday. I played Monday and Tuesday, and then I worked Tuesday afternoon to what happened. So I got a day behind. And then I intended to put the recording up. That was taking all day, and then it kept messing up. So then on the 15th, which was Wednesday, I decided to convert those AVI files over to MP4 files using Adobe Encore media encoder. And then that seemed to speed up all the process. And, everything started working fine today, so I decided to take advantage of that. And since these are rendered with MP4 files, the files are a little bit smaller than storing them with AVI files. One of the things I like about Demonologist the most is the pace that your powers work at. Everything's paced at the pace of Shadow Bolt. You know, I have OCD and ADHD, and timing is everything for me, and I like the way Warlock is paced. Even going back to when the game first came out, I always liked the way Warlock is paced. It's nice and laid back. And everything works with Warlock in a kind of a rhythm. And once you understand that rhythm, the rest is kind of like an art to it. You just see what's ahead of you and you apply what demon will handle the situation the most. Plus, with Warlock and being a Forsaken, you're already dead. What Warlock is, where Warlock is different than Mage is, Mage is designed for quick, powerful, get the battle with over quick. Warlock is more of someone who savors death. Enjoys making people suffer. That's really what Warlock does. And, if you look at, even in the Warcraft movie, Gul'dan's the only Warlock in the movie, but he savors at the destruction of his enemy. That's really how Warlock is played, I think. That's why I like Sylvanas. She enjoys killing people in the story. She doesn't rush. Lets it come in its own time. That's actually something she's learned through the lore. How to be patient with a kill. Forgot what I typed here. I think I was just messing around with the people in chat. That's what I was saying. I was walking up to this guy, I was quite confident that I was going to win the bout. So I put the guard out there, in case ads come from that side. When we attacked the first guy, a bunch of ads showed up, so on this battle, I posted a guard over there. Guard our right flank. Coming up to the final 10 minutes of the clip here. Now for a role player, this is high action. Those of you that are primarily raiders, like, this is so slow, man. Not really. I was watching Dina play today, and she was doing the board reactions, and she hadn't actually played the lore, so doesn't really know what's going on. So when she watched the cutscene, she's like, "What happened?" Somebody explain to me what happened. She didn't know, and so now she's stuck. And she saw this phenomenal ending, but she doesn't know all the details that led up to that moment, and it's kind of funny. As I have followed the lore with the different Loa, the Loa seem to be like lower level gods, like demigods. Though they have a powerful effect on the culture that they're from, they're not as powerful as the big gods that we've met in the lore. I wrote the wrong message. much ended up right back where we started.
Ever walk on the
It's a
wild
good sign.
side?
We have a proper wand. I don't really like using wands as a warlock, but it was interesting looking, so I took it. And plus I needed to gear this character out properly. Again, I always read the quest.
For the pack.
I have to go up here and smack this guy around. We can do that. Be like Lurch. We can do that. I don't have a baritone voice, so I can't like do the proper imitation for Lurch. Ooh, Mr. Adam. Like how people run up after I'm beating some guy down. Now they show up. He has a lot of knockbacks, but wasn't really doing a whole lot of damage. So I decided to position myself, so if he knocked me back, I would go inside the pyramid and not outside. Sure, I would barrage him with artillery here. Fire battery events. My Void Walker holds him over there and can,
like your sister.
You are still not allowed to mention my sister.
I like how these two are like arguing with each other. It's funny. I like that they incorporated humor into a lot of the dialogue. It's funny. Makes for a better story, I think, that the characters here are kind of like annoying each other. Here you have to make a decision. And we'll get that on the flip side of part 3.
Is that really the form you choose to walk around in?